The governor rolls out a new budget plan while the undead protests on the Capitol lawn and the aftermath of a tornado in Norman. This is OU Nightly. Good afternoon. Mary Fallon and the Oklahoma Republican legislative leaders announced a deal today to balance the state budget and give teachers a pay raise.
But it's unclear if the plan will have the support it needs. Fallon outlined some of the details of the plan, including new taxes on cigarettes, fuel, and alcoholic beverages. The plan also calls for restoring the Earned Income Tax Credit, a $3,000 pay raise for teachers, and a pay hike for some state workers. Democratic legislators will only support a cigarette and fuel tax increase if there are other tax increases.
The Democrats want a corresponding tax hike on the production of natural gas and on the incomes of high earners. State Representative Emily Virgin criticized Fallon's plan, calling it a short-term solution. She said today that the immediate budget hole is filled, but it is not a solution for next year's shortfall. And while Fallon and Republicans mapped out a plan to help Oklahoma climb out of its budget hole, zombies marched on the Capitol. Undead protesters stumbled across the Capitol lawn Saturday as part of Together OK's budget horror show Zombie March. The event was a protest against what they believe is the state government's inaction, and protesters were made zombies because of an anti-revenue virus due to incessant budget cuts. Together OK told OU Nightly that Fallon's proposal today simply continues this political grandstanding that has prevented the obvious, popular, and fair solution preferred by a large majority of Oklahomans.
A violent storm ripped through southwestern Norman on Saturday. The path of the destruction of the EF1 tornado started just west of Riverwind Casino and gusted out as it crossed the Canadian River. Riverwind lost power and sustained minimal damage. The hotel is set to reopen midweek, but across the road, some people lost more than just power.
I do it every day. I have installation crews, everything. Well, nobody can work. We have power. They can't hook power up until the buildings are inspected.
Billy Heron operates his pergola construction business out of this building, or at least he used to. Heron was out in the pouring rain checking on his shop after the storm on Saturday night. He says he and his neighbors are devastated by the construction, but are lucky to be safe. The next step for Heron and his neighbors is to get power back so they can start to rebuild.
It's always unfortunate to see that kind of severe weather, but lately
especially
the weather,
in late
yeah,
October.
late October, but the weather is dropping. So, Michael, is that going to be a trend that we're going to see throughout the week?
Yeah, we're going to start dropping some temperatures starting this week. We did have the severe weather this weekend, but looking outside right now, it is about low 70s. This is about normal, what we usually see, but after that severe weather, we did have a cold front with that, but now we have another cold front coming in as we're cooling down this week for a nice fall week, and I'll let you know when that cold front comes up later on.
The EPA has given the Kickapoo Tribe of Oklahoma a $282,000 grant to reduce water pollution. The tribe will use the money to control pollution in surface and groundwater, as well as establish programs to address indoor air, underground storage, and hazardous waste management. The agency says the grant can be used to remedy cost-cutting measures and provides greater flexibility for priority environmental problems. Harlee Toothman joins us now in News Center with an uproar in Catalonia, after a government ruling. Harlee.
Thanks, Sammy. Over the weekend, Spain's government announced complete takeover of Catalonia, the northeastern region of Spain that includes Barcelona. The Prime Minister says he's going to remove Catalonia's leader and call new elections within 6 months. Earlier this month, Catalonia voted for independence from the rest of the country, but Spain's government officials believe it's unconstitutional. More than 2.25 million people cast their ballot in the referendum, with the regional government reporting that 90% of voters were in favor of the split from Madrid. Nearly 500,000 people in Catalonia took to the streets in protest. A U.S. Army sergeant's possible life sentencing has been postponed until Wednesday. After leaving his post in Afghanistan back in 2009, Sergeant Bo Bergdahl was captured and tortured by the Taliban for 5 years until he was released in a prisoner swap. Bergdahl pleaded guilty to deserting his post and says he probably won't get a fair trial after President Donald Trump's comments stating he should be shot. Bergdahl claims he has left his post to report a critical problem in the chain of command at his base, but didn't specify the issue. A military judge ruled against dismissing the charges. President Trump tweeted over the weekend he intends to release classified government documents about the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. This tweet comes in advance of the October 26th deadline set in law by Congress, mandating the public release of secret files, including FBI and CIA files. The documents could shed some light on aspects of the investigation and Lee Harvey Oswald's trip to Mexico City weeks before the assassination. And Sammi, Trump can withhold the release of certain documents if he believes the files could pose harm to U.S. intelligence.
Thanks, Harlee.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, the Bar Avenue protesters are taking a new approach.
Plus, a sportswear giant undergoes some major changes. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. After a year without change, advocates pushing to rename DeBar Avenue in Norman are trying something new. Tomorrow night, the City Council will take public comments on modifying the city street naming process. OU Nightly's Rebecca Walters has more on that and the man behind the controversy.
Flogging, beating, mutilation, tar and feathering, and even murder. By one estimate, at least 9 killings.
This isn't a history class and Professor Clark isn't lecturing. This is the scene at the Norman City Council chamber. Students, citizens, and city councilors took to the microphone at the end of last month's city council meeting. The topic? Edwin DeBar. DeBar was one of the 4 founding professors at OU in 1892. He started the School of Pharmacy and the College of Engineering, and until 1988, the chemistry building wore his name. DeBar was also a member of the Ku Klux Klan, but not just any member.
DeBar was the Grand Dragon of Oklahoma until the spring of 1923. DeBar was then elevated to the National Executive Board of the organization, and he made frequent trips to the Atlanta headquarters on claim business.
DeBar was well loved during his time at OU, and the city of Norman still carries his name. This is DeBar Avenue. It's just west of Campus Corner, and the name of it has some Norman residents up in arms.
I was outraged because DeBar was a KKK member, an actual Grand Dragon, and then that Norman still utilizes his name to this day represents something.
Last year, Clark led an unsuccessful initiative to change the street's name. To rename a street in Norman, 3/4 of the property owners on that street must vote in favor. Clark only got half. But supporters of the name change aren't quitting. According to city policy, the city of Norman can change a street name if investigations deem it inappropriate.
Comments tonight have shown that the street name in question has become inappropriate by today's standards of equality, inclusivity, and decency. I hereby call for the city of Norman to investigate this street name. Thank you.
The public can comment on this issue at the City Council meeting tomorrow evening. The meeting begins at 6:30.
Norman police responded early Sunday morning to reports of a disturbance that ended with a dog being shot. According to the Norman Police Department, officers encountered an aggressive dog, and the officer shot at it and hit it once. The dog was taken to receive medical care and is expected to survive. One individual reported that they were injured during the incident, and it remains under investigation.
And Shea Smith joins us now in Money Matters with the latest on the economic crisis hitting Venezuela. Shea?
That's right, Joseph. Venezuela just added hundreds of millions of dollars to their already high unpaid bills pile. It's just a few days before the first can't-miss debt deadline. They have already missed $586 million in payments that are tied to the government's debts, state oil, and a utility company. Venezuela has racked up $349 million in bonds and failed to pay $237 million of it this weekend. They're in the middle of a full-scale economic crisis and have been hit with severe food shortages and street protests. And Amazon is looking for its second headquarters in North America, and the fight is on. Cities like Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa are all competing for the retail tech giant's attention. They're all competing to stick out and show why their city is the best for the new headquarters. Gary, Indiana published a full-page pitch in the New York Times. Louisville, Kentucky is emphasizing its major logistical hub, and Oklahoma is bragging about its spacious hiking and biking trails and the growth of Oklahoma City within the past 20 years. The new city will benefit from Amazon with a company promise to invest $5 billion and provide up to 50,000 jobs. And Under Armour is undergoing some major changes. Under Armour Chief Executive Kevin Plank's first partner, Kip Fulks, is taking a sabbatical from the company. Fulks was strategic advisor for the company but changed roles several times under his time with Under Armour. But that's not all. The company is also considering the exit of their tennis and outdoor categories. Under Armour shares have dropped 40% this year, and now the company is looking to downsize their smaller businesses and markets such as outdoor gear and fishing. Now, when I heard that news, I was so sad because I play tennis, and that Under Armour is where I get my tennis
and when I'm
clothes.
going skiing in the winter, I always wear Under Armour.
Exactly.
Hey, I always saw this on the sales rack, so I think it kind of makes sense. But hey, Under Armour is a very good brand. No hate to it.
Exactly. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Shea.
And the U.S. Geological Survey reported 3 small earthquakes in northern Oklahoma late Friday and early Saturday. The quakes were all 2.7 or less. No injuries or damages were reported.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, the Sooners narrowly escape the Little Apple.
Plus, Michael Bohling is standing by with weather.
Well, yeah, it's a nice fair day outside right now, but cooler temperatures are on the way. I'll let you know when next. Well, we're taking a live look outside right now at the north end of the stadium at OU Memorial Stadium, and it is a nice day outside. I'm Michael Bohling here with your forecast today. Right now, it's about 72 degrees. We have some north winds at about 17 miles per hour, and it has been a nice fair day. We did have that severe weather over the weekend, but as we look ahead, this is the cold front that moved through. We do have these northerly winds that are coming down, bringing in some of that nice cool air down from the north, and it's going to cool us down quite a bit tomorrow. We're probably going to stay in the low 60s, and as that pushes through, we'll see another low pressure system come in, bring in another cold front, and you'll see it's basically just going to wrap around, bring some of that cold air down from Canada, and that's going to cool us down quite a bit this weekend. We might not even escape the 40s on Friday afternoon. Looking at tonight, it's going to be about 60, but it's going to cool down quite a bit. So if you're planning on doing anything outside tonight, make sure you wear that jacket because we're going to be 49 by midnight tonight. It's going to be a nice, cool night, but make sure you wear your jacket. Then you'll see these temperatures. It's about mid-40s across most state, but out towards Guyman, we're already getting down to 37. We're going to start seeing some freezes as we start to see that next cold front move through, especially for the Panhandle and northwestern Oklahoma. Tomorrow it's going to be 44 outside in the morning, so make sure you also wear a jacket tomorrow morning if you're heading out. But it's going to be warming up to 57 by lunchtime, and it's going to be a nice 62 when you're heading home. So it's going to be a nice sunny day. It should be pretty pleasant after that cold warning. And it's going to be lower 60s across most of the area. We do have some more of those northerly winds coming in that will keep us cool again tomorrow. And as we look at the next couple days, 62 is the high on tomorrow that I'm forecasting, but we will warm up to 71. And it's going to be a very cold morning. You'll see the low of 36 degrees tomorrow. But it's going to be a nice sunny day. And you will see that low at 49 degrees on Friday. But it's going to heat back up right after that as we head through the weekend into early next week.
Hey, all those weather, temperatures are there, 40 through 70. I love that. I cannot wait for that, honestly.
Yeah, that is fall.
I'm a huge fan of cold weather, and I can't wait.
Me too. I need to get more jackets, though. I'm realizing that this morning.
It's sweater season.
Yeah,
it's
more
sweater
shorts
season
every single day this school year, so that's been a problem. But anyway, thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. And I don't know if the football team has checked the calendar, but it's not time for Halloween yet. Sooners gave us quite the scare this weekend. Tori Johnson is here with more. Tori?
That's right, Sammy. I don't know about you, but my heart is still recovering from that close game OU gave us this weekend. The Sooners clawed out the win against the Wildcats, but came down to the very end. And another Oklahoma team played down to the wire, but did not manage to come out on top. Hey, don't go anywhere. Sports is next. OU continues to give Sooner Nation heart attacks till the very end for the 4th straight game. It came down to the wire in the Little Apple after a muff punt and many missed opportunities. The Wildcats jumped out to an early lead with 256 rushing yards before halftime. The Sooners calmed down and only allowed 12 in the second half and clawed out the 42-35 win with much thanks to this week's Big 12 offensive player, Baker Mayfield, along with Rodney Anderson. OU Nightly's Reagan Ledbetter and Carson Williams have more from Kansas.
What a showdown it turned out to be in the Little Apple, Reagan. OU escapes a come-from-behind victory, 42-35, to extend their season and keep in the college football playoff race.
Yes, they did, and the key tonight was Rodney Anderson, a guy
who would have thought?
Exactly, a guy who had 2 season-ending injuries, the back-to-back seasons, the broken leg against Tennessee, and those neck problems from last year. Comes up big tonight, 2 touchdowns, 147 yards, and that big score at the end of the game to put the Sooners ahead and give them the win. I mean, what a great story. Baker Mayfield was just very excited. I mean, he's a guy that works so hard, and for him to come out and play the way he did, he's got off to kind of a slow start this season.
The fun part about this team is we got guts, and we're still getting better. You know, we're still a work in progress, and that's part of it. You see spurts of how good that we can be, and we're going to continue to push like hell to get it, you know, to the point where we can play our best more often.
It's a huge game for Rodney. I mean, just so proud for him, proud of him, you know, and happy for him. You know, he's a guy that works so hard, and he's just had the past 2 years injuries that are just kind of freakish things.
OU escapes, get another win on the road. They'll be back home next Saturday, 7 o'clock primetime, ESPN2 or ABC. We will find out later. But until then, stick with OU Nightly and OUNightly.com for more information. For Reagan Ledbetter, I'm Carson Williams.
And in order to satisfy all your Sooner sports cravings, you can join my girl, Madeline Roberts, and the Sooner Sports Pad team tonight. Madeline, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, Tori, we have a fun-filled half hour for you, including a little OU history. We'll take a look back 60 years to when the great Prentice Gott became the first black man to play for the Crimson and Cream. A pair of OU baseball pitchers will also stop by to talk about this year's Halloween special. So join us tonight at 7:30 on Fox Sports Oklahoma. And Tori, I know you know that folks can watch the rebroadcast tomorrow at 5 right here after our news, right?
That is right, and Cowboy fans should be sending thank yous to the judge who decided to delay Ezekiel Elliott's suspension yet again. Elliott used the opportunity to run all over the winless 49ers. Zeke had a career high of 219 yards from scrimmage, passing his 209-yard game in his rookie season. And just like icing on a cake, he added 3 touchdowns in the game. His record-breaking game came just when the Cowboys needed it most, coming off a 2-game losing streak. They beat San Fran 40-10. And last night, Russell Westbrook and the Thunder faced off against Karl Anthony Towns and the T-Wolves late in the 4th, all tied up at 110. And Big Cat rattles a tough shot off the iron. Off the inbound, Russ drives and dishes it to Carmelo Anthony. Splash. Thunder up by 1, but there's too much time on the clock. Wiggins down the court from 40 feet, and he banks in the 3. Thunder lose 115-113 at the hands of the first buzzer beater of the season. Oh, guys, I don't think he called bank, so that can't count, right?
No, how on earth did that happen? Andre Robertson can't hit the rim once on a pair of free throws, but he can bank it with like 4 seconds left to go. I'm shocked. I'm just shocked.
That's a heartbreaking
First
game.
buzzer beater.
Dang. Well, still to come on OU Nightly. With social media, KFC is cooking up more than chicken. Stay tuned.
I'm Taitum Wilson at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The owner of a tornado shelter manufacturing company, William Stevens, has to pay $101,000 in restitution to customers after they paid for shelters that were never installed. That's it from the Update Desk. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Taitum. KFC might be known for its finger-licking chicken, but it may soon be known for its social media savvy. KFC has millions of followers on Twitter, but the account itself only follows 11 other users. They follow 6 guys named Herb and 5 former members of the Spice Girls, which means KFC only follows, wait for it, 11 herbs and spices. Well played, Colonel.
Hey, that is all good and fun, but you have a weather fact. Can we go ahead and get it, Michael?
All right, yep. We do have a weather fact. It is about the tornado on Saturday. It touched down at 8:34 p.m. It was an EF1 tornado, and that is generally going to damage some roofs. and damaged some mobile homes.
Hey, good thing we have those new things in the dorms. Thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good evening.